Do you notice what's different? I'm gonna give you a minute. She did it. Guys, I got my nails done. Let's just be honest. I was doing the reps. I was putting in the reps, doing my nails. But it's at a point where now that I'm entered different rooms, I want to always be groomed, you know? This is why people pay. This is why they get the money. Because it does take time to prepare and sit down and go through the steps. It does take time. Me personally, I loved it. So that was kind of like I went back and forth with this decision, and I want to tell you guys, I'm so excited about this video. I want to share with you guys how because I didn't realize I was time traveling back and forth. Everything that you have experienced in life has a luggage. Everything. And as time progresses, you will leave some things behind, hence the luggage. As we have learned, just because you put the luggage down, it doesn't mean you're not the owner. But as I've evolved, as I've been educated through decades of self-work, self-improvement, being aware, practicing mindfulness, you know, I find myself in a different way, and I achieved a lot. I had my head down so long, guys, I didn't even realize. So this space that I'm in my life, I'm so grateful that I can coach you guys, share with you guys, have offer things to you guys now, because it's something to say when you consistently do some. Guys, when I turned 50, it was a wrap. Okay, everything that was in my arsenal was done for. The things that worked, I had to let go. I'm gritting my teeth. And then there were things that I did not want to let go, and I had to. Okay, and they were still shiny, right? With that being said, you're forced to grow. You're forced to press. The only way that you're going to give yourself a fighting chance is if you work on healing your nervous system, get to know it, get to understand mechanics. When you have a disruptive nervous system, it is impossible for you to make sound decisions. It is impossible for you to level up, to get to an awareness. There is a point in time you can only go so far. And I'm still learning. But I'm still learning. And this is why I am challenging myself, growing, because now I can see where the pieces do not belong and sit with those pieces, understanding, first of all, how did you get here? What happened that you even made it on this side? A lot of that comes from trauma as well, abuse, disrespect, poverty, not having enough. And poverty is not just finances. Poverty is in your spirit. Poverty is in your mindset. Making 6 figures and up right now, and you are poor because you are not centered, because you allow your emotions. When you get emotional, and especially when you're in your mid-age, guys, we are already here. Why are you gonna just drop off the face of the earth and not allow all this hard work that you're doing? You're not giving yourself enough accolades. You know, somebody mentioned to me, I had a conversation, and I'm trying to see if it was my therapy appointment, which I believe it was. I was in the midst of speaking about a couple of things, and this question came up, like, what about you? What about the things that you achieved, right? It was confronted to me in a way that I started crying. I started crying, guys. I started crying because it was right then and there. And this is a mission. This is not something that you just learn, okay? I've had my head down for so long because that's all I was able to do, because of the self-loathing, not having enough respect, just not allowing myself to understand that I am a human being. I'm beautifully and wonderfully made. What? The joke, okay? And it wasn't until I started practicing mindfulness as well as my breath work, let me find out that was the secret sauce. That was the secret sauce. And this is your secret sauce, because these things help the nervous system. When you're feeling anxious, you breathe, you take deep breaths. Be sure to subscribe, because I have something for you guys that I recorded, and this is going to help you 10x your life, because once your nervous system is on point, everybody find themselves in different ways. Some people are naturally, and even if you're a calm person by nature, but I do find if you are a hyperactive, intense person, you feel this is what you do. This is why you are intense. I'm one of them. And I struggled hard in this area. I had a level of consciousness I always felt, but I was just like making it, and I always knew deep down inside, I knew that was like that's not right, but I didn't understand. I didn't have the vocabulary at that time. Now I do, and you do too. So when I was looking back on, so this led me to look back on some of the videos, and I realized that I've been saying the same thing for over a course amount of time in my life. Same subject, just different. Same things: fear, anxiety, depression, abundance, glory, God, my spiritual practice, everything that it's so amazing how, because we get in our own way and because we don't believe that we are worthy, we don't realize that we was already right there. It was always in you, right? And if you look back in your life, this goes to anything. So when I was looking at one of my videos, my nails was done, and I was like, I am not gonna lie, I was like smitten with her. I was like, oh, her nails is done. I like that. And then it brought me back to when I used to get it done. Like, what was the feeling? Because guys, I make everything an adventure, okay? I make sure I look cute. I make sure I get something good to eat afterwards. I personally love to get West Indian food, preferably Haitian or Jamaican for me, or Chinese food. It could be a plethora of things, but those are usually my go-to. I'm in New York. Doing that, I receive a blessing from that. Creating for you guys, I end up blessing myself, because first of all, the topic. Second of all, appreciating what was in front of me, being reacquainted with that side of myself, right? So I brought it into my future, hence she got her nails done. Do you see that? I'm sharing real time with you guys. This is a very valuable conversation. And if you are still listening, that means that you are worthy and you needed to hear this message. You definitely, especially you, needed to hear that message. I'm gonna finish getting ready. I just came from the gym, guys. First day at the gym since the new year. Gotta get it in. I personally like to go on Thursdays. I go once, twice, during winter months. That's usually when it's the tough. It's much more difficult. But you see me, guys, I'm out there. You see me braving braving the wind, braving the air. I show these different sides of my life with you guys because I want, when I'm speaking to you, you know, it's business. Like, this is what I do. Okay, so be sure to check out all the links down below so you can sign up to the email list so you can be privy. I intend to leave the links down below as well, but you'll be privy first. So everybody that signs up to the email list they get first information over there. So there's that. But of course, I'll be uploading over here and letting you guys know as well. Of course, subscribe. I know it's like the transfer, okay? I get it. But for me, and I appreciate it, and it will help my podcast as well. So you can subscribe to the podcast at Elizabeth Magical Garden podcast channel. The links are down below, guys. I am so excited about this year. I'm so excited to bring you along in this new journey. Stay blessed, stay in peace, and stay empowered. Peace. These nails, I can't. Okay.